African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command in combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing. On the progress of the special military operation on the 2nd of May, 2024. The armed forces of the Russian Federation continue to conduct a special military operation. As a result of decisive actions, units of the North Military Group liberated the settlement of Maryino in the Sumy region. Concentrations of manpower and equipment of 2 airborne assault brigades of the Ukrainian armed forces and 2 territorial defense brigades were defeated in the areas of the settlements of Proletarskoye, Pavlovka, Atinskoye, Rizevka, Sadki, and Unikovka in the Sumy region. In the Kharkiv direction, the formations of the Mechanized Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and the Territorial Defense Brigade were defeated in the areas of the settlements of Bologovka and Volchansk in the Kharkiv region. The Ukrainian armed forces lost up to 140 servicemen, a tank, 2 armored combat vehicles, 9 cars, 5 field artillery pieces, and an electronic warfare station. Units of the West Group of Forces improved their tactical position. They defeated formations of 2 mechanized airmobile brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, a brigade of the National Guard, and a border detachment of the Ukrainian Border Service in the areas of the settlements of Kupiansk, Sobolevka, Gleshchenkovo, Novy Mir, Novosinovo in the Kharkiv region, Redkadub, Yampol, Karpovka, Kirovsk in the Donetsk People's Republic, and Novoegorovka in the Luhansk People's Republic. The Ukrainian armed forces lost over 230 servicemen, 2 armored combat vehicles, including a U.S.-made M113 armored personnel carrier, 5 cars, a Western-made artillery piece, a Kraken electronic warfare station, and an ammunition depot. Units of the Southern Group of troops took up more advantageous lines and positions. They defeated the manpower and equipment of 2 mechanized, airmobile and assault brigades of the Ukrainian armed forces in the areas of the settlements of Serebryanka, Seversk, Chasov Yar, Markovo, Stupachki, Pretikino, Minkovka, Grigorovka, Dadlivka, and Verkhnekamenskoye of the Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy lost over 210 servicemen and 6 armored combat vehicles, including 2 M113 armored personnel carriers and 2 U.S.-made HMMWV armored vehicles. 5 pickup trucks, an artillery gun, 3 electronic warfare stations, and an ammunition depot were destroyed. As a result of active and decisive actions by units of the Center Group of Forces, the settlement of Novolinovka in the Donetsk People's Republic was liberated. The defeat was inflicted on formations of 3 mechanized assault brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and 2 brigades of the National Guard in the areas of the settlements of Ryzino, Krasnoarmysk, Grodovka, Novaya Poltavka, Marylyabovka, Petrovskoye, Novoekonomicheskoye, Novosergivka, Ulyanovka, and Koptivo of the Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy lost up to 455 servicemen, 3 pickup trucks, as well as a U.S.-made Bradley infantry fighting vehicle, 2 M113 armored personnel carriers, and a Max Pro armored vehicle. Units of the East Group of Forces continue to advance into the depths of the enemy's defense. They defeated the manpower and equipment of the Mechanized Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the Territorial Defense Brigade, and the National Guard Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Novokrenka, Novopol, Zaporizhia, Alexandrograd, Yalta, Zelenoy Pol of the Donetsk People's Republic, Guliapol, and Chervon of the Zaporizhia region. The Ukrainian armed forces lost over 150 servicemen, 4 vehicles and 2 field artillery guns. 2 electronic warfare stations and an ammunition depot were destroyed. Units of the Dnieper Group of Forces defeated formations of the Mechanized Brigade and the Coastal Defense Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces in the areas of the settlements of Blakitno, Novoandrievka, Pavlovka in the Zaporizhia region, and Otradokomenka in the Kherson region. Up to 30 servicemen, a vehicle, 3 ammunition, and material depots were destroyed. Operational Tactical Aviation, strike unmanned aerial vehicles. Missile troops and artillery of the groups of troops of the armed forces of the Russian Federation inflicted damage on infrastructure facilities of military airfields, ammunition depots and material and technical equipment, as well as temporary deployment points of units of Ukrainian armed formations and foreign mercenaries in 142 districts. Air defense systems shot down 5 U.S.-made JDAM guided aerial bombs and 127 aircraft-type unmanned aerial vehicles. In total, since the beginning of the special military operation, the following have been destroyed: 662 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 57,718 unmanned aerial vehicles, 605 anti-aircraft missile systems, 23,399 tanks, and other armored combat vehicles, 1,563 multiple launch rocket system combat vehicles, 25,028 field artillery pieces and mortars, 35,668 units of special military vehicles. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.